What's up, guys? It's Clown Fight here. Today we're going to be looking at Francis Ngannou once again, coming back with more side of his story. So, as you know, I've done quite a long series on Francis Ngannou. Was he spiked? Was he drugged? Or is he just making things up? And has Francis Ngannou gone delusional since the Anthony Joshua fight? So, again, Francis Ngannou gives more claims here that apparently something was off in that fight. He feels he was cheated, he wasn't given fair treatment, and he continues to make that same claim. He does give respect to AJ. He does say, he said it in an interview before, that even if that wasn't the case, if anyone was going to beat me, it should be AJ. So you've got to look at it. In my opinion, a lot of people say he's doing what Deontay Wilder did. I don't think Francis Ngannou is doing what Deontay Wilder did. Talks about the death of his son and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into all of that, but it's slightly different to Wilder. But again, a lot of people say he's still delusional. Some people believe that he was drugged and he was cheated, whether that's by Turki Al Sheikh, whether that's the times that he said he was told to arrive. I've got a full series, guys. Make sure you check that out. And I'm just going to let Francis Ngannou talk, and I'll give you my say. Let's get straight into it.
My first fight in boxing was less than a year ago, October 2023.
You fought Tyson. Many people think you won the fight. An incredible fight. You fought Anthony Joshua. You lost that fight. And I think at the end of that fight, Anthony actually says, you need to carry on boxing. You need to carry on going. And I think that's the sentiment that everyone has.
No, I'm carrying on. I don't really take that fight as a note because not to say, I mean, you will be a fool if you're going to fight basically in boxing somebody like Anthony Joshua and don't think that you can lose, right? Or trying to make an excuse of losing. If there's somebody that you can lose against in the combat sport, then he's somebody like Anthony Joshua, right? But
so, guys, just before I continue, so Francis Ngannou is basically acknowledging, I can't make an excuse if you're going to lose. You can't go into a fight 100% expect you're going to win, especially if you're like a two-time world champion like Anthony Joshua is. So he's saying he'll stay in boxing, as AJ said to him, stay in boxing. And I'm just talking from Francis Ngannou's side. Is this Francis Ngannou saying, because the difference is, guys, if you look at someone like Deontay Wilder, when he lost against Tyson Fury, he kept saying, if Tyson Fury had this in his gloves, I was drugged, I was spiked. He fired his trainer, he fired this, fired that. Notice Francis Ngannou is saying none of that. He's commending Anthony Joshua. He said, if I'm going to lose to anyone, it's Anthony Joshua. He's a two-time champion. I can't go into the fight thinking I'm not going to lose. It's a hard fight. But listen to what Francis Ngannou says now. Again, he starts talking about why he lost, the reasons, the time difference, the dirty tactics done by whether it's Saudi or Matchroom or whoever. Let's carry on.
Honestly, on that fight, there was a lot of unfairness, and then which might have been for something or not, but there was a lot of unfairness. Unlike the Tyson fight, that everything was straight, and I think nobody was giving me a chance, and then everything was fair, no sneaky stuff. But the second one, he was so messy.
So there's Ngannou saying, Tyson Fury fight, when he fought Fury, everything was normal. You turn up for the fight, I don't know, you're probably in the back for 2 hours. You know what you're going to get, and no one expected Francis Ngannou to win. So he goes in there and he beats Tyson Fury, in my opinion. Obviously, a lot of people say no, but he beat Tyson Fury, he got robbed. And from what he's saying, there is some merit in what Francis Ngannou is saying. I know there's a lot of people to watch my videos. Look, I've got no side. I can see the side where AJ just did his dance. He is the better fighter. In terms of boxing, 100% AJ is a better boxer than Ngannou. AJ's got the capability to shut Ngannou's lights off. We've seen that. But you have to look at what Ngannou's saying here. I'm not saying it's justified for an excuse. Maybe it's his lack of experience. What he's technically saying is, in the Tyson Fury fight, he didn't have that same sort of delays, like we're going to make you sit in the changing room, this, we're going to make you go here. He talks about it now. I don't know if that's an excuse, guys. I think maybe that's just part of boxing, but I don't know. He talks about dirty tactics and maybe a potential drugging. But let's just carry on. Listen to Ngannou.
What do you mean?
A lot of tricks. Like, they will get you everywhere that I was going in that week. I have to wait at least 1 hour, 1 hour and a half before the beginning or before Anthony Joshua arrived. But they always send a car to pick me up, like that amount of time. Even the fight day. The fight day, I stay in the locker room for 4 hours and a half. 4 hours and a half. They send a car to pick me up. Pick up time 10:30. Because you're supposed to fight. They tell me up front I'm supposed to fight around midnight and 1 p.m. So pick up time.
1 a.m.
Yes, and 1 a.m. Sorry. Pick up time 10:30. It's like, okay, good. It's how it works. It's that amount of time. Then you get in the arena. They're like, oh yeah, there's a producer. Like, oh, we are running behind clock on the broadcasting, so we might be fighting at 1:45. Okay, it's not that bad. I've been training to fight in that time frame, in around 1 p.m., 1 a.m. Bro, we are sitting there and then watching Anthony Joshua arrive in the arena at 1:30. Like, how come you tell me that, with you guys tell me that I'm going to fight around midnight and 1 o'clock, or that is delayed, I'm going to fight at 1:45, and then he's now just arrived.
So guys, what Francis Ngannou is saying here is no different to the other videos that I've broken down. Check them out. I'll put a few links, whatever. He arrived at 10:30. He's supposed to fight at, say, 1:30 or 1:15. 2 hours before a fight, 2.5 hours. That's fair. He says he didn't get in the ring till 3:30, 3:30. And he sees Joshua walking into the arena at 1:30. But no one's let Ngannou know while Joshua's walking in, AJ's here or not. So it's almost like they didn't feed Ngannou the information, but maybe it's his lack of experience, guys. As I said, remember, Ngannou's not an MMA a boxer, and he's never fought at the highest level. Guys, look, you got Tyson Fury. When he fought Vladimir Klitschko, they bloody made a scene about the ring or something, or the gloves. And guys, they got the glove or the ring, I can't remember, changed before their fight. There's always these big antics before a big fight. Now, even AJ might have not done anything, but you know, the people around AJ, his team, this is part of boxing, guys, doing these little tricks and sly tricks. Again, for a guy who doesn't watch, who doesn't compete in boxing, Francis Ngannou, maybe that is seen as dirty. But in part of the boxing sport, these things happen. Now, maybe Francis Ngannou's never experienced it, and it might have affected him, but I'm not sure you can obviously use that as an excuse. But at the same time, I don't think he just stops there. Obviously, he's done other videos where he says something was wrong, or something put someone in my food, or he can't prove it. So obviously, the time thing said it made him tired, and he talks about how throughout that whole week they were messing him about with the times. They made him get like an hour too early. He claims that they were making him tired from the start of that week. They kept messing him about. He talks about his trainer, Dewey Cooper, getting annoyed and pissed off, like, yo, they're taking the piss and they're just trying to tire you out. And he had no clue. Again, this is part of boxing. But if you don't know and you're unaware, yeah, it probably can affect you. But I don't know how much merit can you hold in that. Let's carry on.
When he arrived, we know that it's about 2 hours before there is a fight. You don't get in the arena 1 hour before the fight. No, it's 2 hours is the average. And
so he sees AJ walking at 1:30, and he's been told he's going to fight about 1:45. He probably had a shock of his life, thinking, how can AJ walk in the arena 1:30? Then he started to realize, fuck, we ain't fighting till 3:30. But by that time, he was already in the dressing gown, dozing off as he's seen the videos. And he said he started to not feel like himself. As I said, I've done other breakdowns where he said he was dizzy after the first hit of AJ. He couldn't hear and he just wasn't himself. But again, guys, there's a side of delusional, And then there's a side of something was wrong with Francis. They picked him up in a special car. They sent him emails. I don't know, guys. Have they done something to him, guys? Did they make him... Did they drug the guy? Did they do something? Did they put something in his food? Did they slowly seep the energy out of Ngannou, the predator?
Stuff like that, they did a lot. Again, not to say I couldn't lose the fight, but...
Do you think they...
So there you go. That's basically what he's saying. He said they did a lot. And if you're wondering what is the lot, again, check my breakdown out, guys, on this. I've done a 3-part series. I've got a whole series on Ngannou, but Ngannou / Turki Al Sheikh exposed. I do believe there's probably some dirtiness done to Ngannou. I'm going to be honest. I can't say to you that it affected his performance was used as a valid excuse. But I won't lie. I wouldn't be surprised if Turki Al Sheikh knows about all this and is like, do the dirty tactics. He ain't going to know. And again, you can't say that's going to give someone... Like, it's going to make them... Like, for what I'm trying to say is it doesn't take away from what AJ probably would have done. However, it's still unfair and a bit dirty. And if you don't know the sport of boxing, guys, you'll know how dirty of a sport that is. You guys in the comments know as well. Every fighter does everything they can do to get the best advantage, whether that's the gloves, whether that's the ring walk, the making you wait the time. There's all these little tricks. And if you don't know about it, guys, maybe they can play on your head mentally. And if you're mentally not there, it seeps into your energy. So, and then obviously the claim of the drugging may stem from something like this. But let's carry on.
Do you think they were doing that intentionally?
Yeah.
You think that?
Yeah.
So Francis Ngannou says straight up, they did it intentionally. They made me wait. They did this on purpose. They did it. No doubt in his voice. He's like, yeah, they basically played those tricks on me on purpose. No question, no doubt. They wanted either me to be tired or they were trying to do something or put some shit in my drink or whatnot. So let's carry on.
I said the whole week he was like that.
They were wasting your time.
I mean, I think it's a trick. I didn't know before, but I think it's a trick that they have in boxing. They have a lot of tricks, and in fact, like in the week, during the week, my coach Dewey, because he's a very calm person, and he was like, he get to the point that he was really mad and was yelling about it, like, no, this is how you get fighter tired, and I'm like, no, it's okay. I didn't know how deep was the problem, you know. Until I get in the final set, then I'm like, okay, this is serious. But he was too late.
So again, Francis Ngannou saying these little things that they did to him, these little tricks, as I said, Dewey Cooper, his trainer, they slowly play these tricks on him. As the fight got closer, as Turki Al Sheikh started to have shivers down his spine, thinking, fuck, if this MMA guy wins, it's a mockery of my sport. He's going to end up fighting the winner of Usyk and Fury. And we don't want this. Turki Al Sheikh wants AJ to win, 100%. There's no doubt about that. We've seen video proof of Turki Al Sheikh wanting AJ to win, which is fine. It's a sport. Turki Al Sheikh has his favourites. He likes Tyson Fury. He wanted Tyson Fury to beat Usyk. He tried to give Tyson Fury as many advantages as he can. So he has his favourites. So what do you think would stop Turki Al Sheikh to, not saying spike his drink, but make Ngannou's life harder? He doesn't have the experience. Let's make him wait. Let's make him do this. And slowly, guys, you got to understand, when it's fight week, you just want to fight. Every little hour, every minute counts. When you sleep, when you wake up, it will affect their performance. Again, not making an excuse. I'm not saying AJ wouldn't do the same thing, but again, this is where Francis Ngannou's mind's at. So just thought I'd show you that.
Were you tired by the time?
Very tired.
By the time
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping before?
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know if it was just a fatigue or whatever. I was in the locker room getting warm up and falling asleep and feeling asleep.
So this is the third or fourth claim where Ngannou said he's been tired and he was sleeping. He literally said, I was sleeping. The only video we have of him in the fucking dressing room is at 10:30. The guy arrived at 10:30 and he was already kind of tired. This was right at the start, remember? So you got to think, guys, like, when you just walk into the changing room at 10:30, if you're tired at 10:30, like, let's say you're tired at 10:30, like you're actually out of it and you're really, really tired at 10:30 and you're supposed to be fighting at, 1 o'clock, but the fight actually ends up being at 3:30. Why were you tired when you walked into the ring that day? Have you been given some shit to make you tired? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what made you tired? Like, I'm just speculating here, guys. As Francis, a lot of people say he was drugged, this, that. And then in the fight, he talks about he can't even remember much. He goes, I couldn't even hear anything and I was out of it. So again, I've got to look at both sides here. If Francis Ngannou was drugged or given something, then the effects that he was showing matches and aligns with the possibility of him being drugged. But at the end, on the other hand, people say there's drug testing, there's this, there's that. I understand that. If you've just been cheated, as in maybe the time, the fatigue, still probably would play a factor, maybe not as much. Again, you can't take it away from AJ's performance because AJ's probably still going to do what he's going to do. But Ngannou obviously feels like it weren't the best him. And doesn't say he wants to run it back, but he just says something wasn't right. And I don't know. You give me your thoughts, guys. Is Ngannou, again, telling the truth? Is he exposing something here? Or is this just pure delusion?
So that's why, like, personally, yeah, I take that loss, but I don't put it in the context. You know, I think it could have been different.
Do you think you could have beat him?
I still think I could have beat him. I could have lost too, but no, that easy. Yeah, things were so easy. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
So he goes, he still believes he could have beat AJ, but he goes, I could have lost too, but it probably wasn't going to be easy, and he looked a bit confused when he said that. But yeah, this is Ngannou, guys. Like, for me, it's not Deontay Wilder type of stuff, but it's probably another thing. It's not Deontay Wilder kind of mode. I call this the Francis Ngannou mode. This is where you got to weigh up what side are you on, guys. Was he drugged? Was he cheated? MMA fighter coming into boxing. They don't want MMA guys in boxing. They don't want him in the sport. He just nearly beat Tyson Fury. Let's drug the fuck out. Let's give him all the disadvantages. Let's just make sure AJ puts the nail on the coffin. Because AJ probably still would have put the nail on the coffin either way. But let's just make sure there's no chance of this guy even looking slightly good. So guys, something could have went down. Or on the other hand, Ngannou isn't as good as we think he was, and he got exposed. But again, I'll leave that to you.
Did you feel like yourself?
No. Not at all. Not at all. But I think it was my mistake. I shouldn't have done good in the Fury fight. I think that was what was expected in the Fury fight.
Interesting what he says there, guys. So straight away clarifies I was not feeling myself, not at all. And then he goes, I shouldn't have done as good as that in the Fury fight, because if I didn't do that good in the Fury fight, then they would have not obviously tried these tactics on me, whether he's implying to the drugging or whatnot. And he looked away, he's smiling and laughing. He's got a point, guys. He's got a point. You got to look at it in that way. Like, look, don't lie to me, man. People in these comments are like, yo, AJ was 100% going to knock him out. There were people watching this fight. A lot of pundits here were thinking Ngannou was going to beat AJ. Reason being, people had Tyson Fury above AJ. If you go back 1 or 2 years, people used to say, yo, Tyson Fury will beat AJ. We know now, guys, after the Usyk performance, Tyson Fury's been running. I think AJ demolishes Tyson Fury. But at that time, coming into this especially, AJ was trying to rebuild. He's only had 2 fights. He lost to Usyk. Tyson Fury had never lost at that point. And Francis Ngannou basically beat Tyson Fury. Everyone's opinion changed quickly. Everyone was like, you know what? This guy could cause AJ problems. No, not many people had AJ is going to just flatline him. And okay, there might be some people out there, so if you think that, fair play to you. But a lot of people I saw, and especially the polls before the fight, I was scratching my head. I was like, a lot of people are picking Ngannou to win. I picked Ngannou to win. I got it wrong. Put my hands up. More of a bias though, because I liked MMA, but forget that. But anyways, I didn't even expect Ngannou to just get flatlined like that. I on paper, AJ should have won that fight. But AJ didn't just win that fight. AJ flatlined the guy. Now this again brings AJ's stuff into question. AJ is set to fight Daniel Dubois on the September in a month's time, we're going to see where AJ is really at, because who has AJ for? In my opinion, you can't put Ngannou on that same level. A lot of people think AJ is going to fly through the bar the same way through to Ngannou. This is a whole separate conversation. I do believe AJ will win, but we'll see how, and I'll leave that for another video. But let's get back to this.
For me to lose, maybe in that fashion.
So again, he just says he should have performed a little bit worse in the Tyson Fury fight, and then they wouldn't have like done all these tricks. But again, like I said at the start of the video, this is part of boxing, guys. The higher stakes you go, the more tricks you're gonna like do, whether it's the gloves or this. And if you've got lack of experience, they'll get you. It's like saying, it's like saying if you don't know the sport, guys, it's like saying, my shoes were too tight before the fight. Like, check your shoes, check if the other opponent's shoes. You're allowed to check. You're allowed to send someone in their locker room to check their gloves. You're allowed to watch how they wrap their hands. These are all things, guys, that boxers know. But if you're an MMA guy, you don't have a clue about it. So maybe Francis Ngannou felt gullible to that. I can't really say that's cheating, but he's claiming that's affected his performance. So yeah, guys, that's just going to be my video. I'm not going to touch upon much more. You leave your thoughts below, guys. Let me know what you think about Francis Ngannou. Do you think he was drugged? There's obviously a whole side of people that do believe that Francis Ngannou was cheated in that fight. Whether that's from Turki Al-Sheikh, whether that's from Frank Warren, as I made a video on, whether that was some other way. Francis Ngannou was cheated in some sort of way, not taken away from AJ's performance. Or do you believe he's just chatting waffle? He would have got beat either way, and it's just he's looking to make excuses in a Deontay Wilder fashion. But again, in my opinion, it's not exactly like Deontay Wilder. He's not actually discrediting AJ. But again, some people are going to say an excuse is an excuse. So that's just going to be my video. You leave your thoughts below, and I'll catch you in the next one.